Ooh, fancy new arrows for Bunjie. See if I can focus on these good. These are the new Zombie Slayer arrows from Wyvern Creations. Not sponsored by anybody here on Death by Bunjie, but there are things that I like, products that I like, and I like to tell you about them if I do like them. The Zombie Slayers, they're made by Black Eagle, but they're customized by Wyvern Creations. You might remember the Breaking Limbs series that I did during the spring of this year. Did some interviews for that series of videos, and one of the people that I interviewed was Dave Wilkins from Wyvern Creations. And he told us back at that time that these arrows were coming.
We're going to be doing a 500 grain arrow for our customers. If it's not going to hurt anything, sure, what the hell? It's not a problem. It just means I got to, bolt a whole mess of weight washers together.
I've always wanted to try the Zombie Slayers. Frankly, I'm just up to try anything that has a funny name like that. Really cool logo, that sort of thing. I'm always kind of interested in that. And I'll give it a try, right? And I wanted a heavier arrow for the original Bunjie because Bunjie likes heavier arrows. That's an older, slower crossbow. Needs a heavier arrow to get a little more impact at the target, if you know what I'm saying. It needs a little more momentum that you get from a heavier arrow. These aren't your typical Zombie Slayers. With the Burt Coyote Luminoc, this arrow weighs in at 563 grains. They all weigh within 1 or 2 grains of each other. The entire dozen arrow set that I bought. 563 grains. I'll flash the numbers on the screen here, but it increases the momentum for the original Bunjie. It increases the kinetic energy for the original Bunjie substantially. The difference in the amount of energy that we have at the target, whether it's a deer when we're out in the field or whether it's a target in the 60-yard backyard, is noticeably different. You have more momentum with this arrow, with a heavier arrow like this. Excalibur was one of the brands that they originally designed this arrow for, Wyvern Creations did, because they were getting a lot of requests from Excalibur users for heavier arrows to help save their limbs, right? And that's something we talked about in the Breaking Limbs series. You can make that decision for yourself. Don't let me or anybody else make that decision for you. But if you're worried about your limbs breaking, you want to put a little bit more energy into the arrow and leave less energy left over to damage your limbs, then an arrow like this might be a good choice. These arrows are not limited for Excalibur users. However, on the Wyvern Creations website, you can get them for 10 points. You can get them for other brands. You change the knockout, it'll work in any crossbow. Just make sure you get the right length. But now the most important thing, how do these fly? Are they accurate, Rich? Because accuracy is number one with crossbow hunting, isn't it? Yes, it is. I say that in my first book, The Death by Bunjie Crossbows Story, that came out a couple of years ago, and in my new book, The Death by Bunjie Crossbow Method, I mention, again, how important accuracy is. Well, here's some shots with the Zombie Slayers. I think I got her dialed in. Pretty good about that. Old Bunjie hitting the bullseye there. That's the 20-yarder. And we're just going to walk right on down through here. Now, this guy did not get staked down to 2 stakes. He's on a swivel. But that yardage, I'm thinking, was like 25 yards or so. Hit it no problem. Nice killing shot on the coyote. Oh, yeah. Luminoc lit right up. That's those helicals I was telling you about. Pretty cool, huh? When we go over here, this is our 30-yarder, the new block target I bought. Got a little 16-inch, so it fit in the wagon with me. But I was aiming for the bee, and we're hitting the bee. Actually, that's like the most bullseye I've hit. So I'm trying to use up different blocks, or different parts of the target. These, now here's our boar. Bunjie and I have never had problems killing boars now, have we? Especially with the heavier arrows. We haven't had any troubles. And kaboom, that's not a bad shot. Actually, it's a little bit to the left of what I was aiming for. I'll be honest about that. That wasn't that perfect. Or maybe I just couldn't see it. I don't know. Getting a little dark out. But I was aiming for the upper right circle. This is my 40-yarder. Not perfect. Not perfect. The deer, I got it. Well, let's look at the bag first. I rolled the bag. That's the important thing. Guessing at the yardage there. I think it was like 52, something like that. These ones I'm trying to do the yardage from memory. But the deer is somewhere around 55 yards, and that's a nice little shot right through the shoulder of that buck. I think Bunjie and I would have taken that buck home. And then we have, oh, look at the sun. Such a beautiful image. I get caught up with all the camera stuff, don't I? But anyway, That, I got to tell you, that is exactly where I was aiming at 60 yards. Not too bad. Not too bad. And that's what it looked at the homestead there. 60-yard shot. I was sitting on that balcony right up there on the right of that house. These arrows so far have been pretty accurate. I'm pretty impressed with them. And I've got a couple of other videos coming this week talking about the level of accuracy that I get out of these arrows, both on the original Bunjie and on Bunjie III. So these are the arrows that Bunjie and I will carry into the woods if we hunt together this fall, and I'm sure we will. But we'll carry these arrows along with probably the Swahacker 150 grain crossbow broadhead and see how we make out. We've had good success in the past with heavier arrows like this in that broadhead combination. See no reason why Bunjie wouldn't like these. In fact, Bunjie and I even went and got a string that matches the logo.
Ooh.
Very important, right? Death by Bunjie is nothing if not fun. I hope your Crossbow Appreciation Month is going well, and until next time, all hail Bunjie.